I get lots of questions, which I usually answer in email or in the comments section, but in this video, I'm going to answer a list of great questions from Heidi. These questions are on equipment, and equipment's kind of a controversial subject because everybody has their own opinion on what's the best thing. But in this video, I will show you what I use at least. Card wars. Pew, 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 pew. There are two most common types of memory cards. You have your secure digital cards, or SD cards, and your compact flash cards. Theoretically, the compact flash cards are faster than the SD cards. However, manufacturers engineer these cards at certain speeds and price points, so it doesn't really matter that this one can be faster. It might not be faster than your SD card. It just depends on how it was made. Now, I like to use more major manufacturers for my cards, like SanDisk. It just kind of gives me peace of mind, even though they're a little more expensive, that my images aren't going to magically be deleted. So I spend a little bit more, but I have the peace of mind. Pew, 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 pew. I have cards that range from Ultra 2 to Extreme 4, and for 99% of my shooting, I don't notice a difference in the speed. That's because of my camera's buffer. The camera will kind of store some images before it really writes them to the card for you. So before you go out and purchase faster, more expensive cards, I suggest that you go out and take a burst of shots. Just take as many as you can all at once and see how many take, if it slows you down, if they're all in your buffer, and then think, am I ever going to take that many pictures at once? Because if you are, and you did find that it was slowing you down, then you should buy the more expensive, faster cards. If not, don't worry about it. Spares. I like to play it safe and bring at least 2 of everything that I'm going to need to a given shoot. So that means a few sets of my Sanyo Eneloop batteries, and all 3 of my speed lights when I'll probably only use 1 or 2 of them. And what else? Let's see. Card storage. I like to bring 2 or 3 times the amount of card storage that I think I'm actually going to need. And I also bring 2 or 3 camera bodies, sometimes 4, because once when I was shooting a wedding, I had my D2X fail on me. And luckily I had my D80 on my shoulder, so I put the lens that was on my D2X on my D80 and I continued shooting, and then at my earliest opportunity I just went and took the D50 that was in my bag out and I used the D80 and the D50 for the rest of the day. That's kind of the difference, in my opinion, between pros and amateurs. Pros will expect that sometimes you're going to have an equipment failure and they'll plan for it. Do I use reflectors? Well, no. But there are times when I could have benefited from reflectors or diffusers. But I found with some small changes in location to like a shady spot, or getting my flash off of my camera with a wire or wireless, I'm able to get the lighting that I want. But that being said, I have been thinking about getting reflectors. So while I don't have any brand recommendations, because I don't have any, if any of you out there have some recommendations, please let me know. Backdrops. I have a backdrop stand by Dynatran, and the nice thing about this backdrop stand is that it actually holds 3 backdrops at one time. This the backdrop stand setup was about $100, and then I do have 3 different backdrops. I have 2 cloth backdrops, a black and a white. I bought these on eBay for 20 or 40 bucks each, and I probably could have just purchased some thick fabric from a fabric store and sewn, you know, a loop in the top for the cross pole, but I probably would have spent more money than I did just buying them on eBay. So that's what I have with those. I also have this paper roll backdrop, which is awesome because it is totally smooth, and it's really nice because if it gets dirty or wrinkled, you just pull down more and, you know, cut off the bottom. The bad news is that it's kind of expensive. It's like, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks for a roll. Let's talk strobes. These are 320 watt second strobes and Alien Bees claims that they are an 800 watt second equivalent. I don't know if that's true or not, but generally they give me more light than I need, so they're good for me. In the studio, I typically have my primary set at half power and my fill light set at 1/4 power. So like I said, they give me plenty of light. When I am shooting outside, I just use my speed light. But if I'm outside at like a wedding, doing formal portraits outside, I'll bring my strobes and I'll set them all up, and I will have a dedicated camera for that setup where it is all set up exactly for the strobes and the camera and the people that are going to be there, and that way all you have to do is click, click, click the pictures through. What about umbrellas? What I have here is a reversible umbrella with gold on one side and silver on the other. The gold will provide a warmer effect on your photo. I typically have mine on the silver. I feel like it gives just a more natural color. Alien Bees makes this one, and it's actually pretty inexpensive, so you could purchase one like this that's reversible so you can experiment on your own. Thanks Heidi and everybody else for sending in your questions, and please keep sending them in, and maybe next week your questions will be the topic of my video.